you guys. So now, in our last class, we cover how to merge, how to append, how to transform data. So in our today's class, what we'll be covering is this. We are doing what we call data modeling. We have explained what data modeling is in the last class. But I will do a brief recap on what we've done. So let's see what we have in our PowerPoint. So in our last class, we covered what data modeling is. It's building relationship between different tables for simplify analysis. And why do you need it? It simplify your data analysis. It enable you to interact between different tables from different sources. And it make your report performance better. It make it faster. So when your report is loading, it will load faster. And it supports you if you want to do some calculation beyond what you have in your data. So data modeling give you that place. Data modeling give you that place where you can perform those calculations. So, and after that, it's after that it has what we call data visualization. So, and that's what we have for that. And the next one we have is we explain what so we have what we call fact table, we have dimension table, we explain what fact table is, and we explain what dimension table is. So we explain, you'll be understanding much of that again. And we explain all of these. After that, what we have relationship, one to many, one to one, many to many. We explain all this in our last class. And you find everything in your slides, so you can go through it again. So that's for data modeling. But today, we are now going into what we call the demo, how we now perform, how we prepare our data after we've cleaned, after we've transformed. How can we now prepare our data for modeling to now build our visuals? So to get data, we click on, because we are getting from Excel workbook, I'll click on Excel workbook, okay? Now I'll go and locate Power BI Masterclass. You see here, data preparation and modeling, and you click on it. Please confirm if my screen is not lagging before I move on.
Yes, it's not lagging, it's okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Are you asking?
Please check the charts. Ask them if it's let me know if it is lagging, so we should confirm it's from their end. Is it lagging? Any reply or any comments from them?
The screen is not lagging.
Okay. So I will select data preparation and modeling. And from here now, we take us to Power Query. So yeah, I'll pick this file, not print cells. So this is what we want to use. I'll click on transform data. Yeah, this is it. So this data is the sales data from Northwind. Northwind is an open source for Microsoft. Not easy Microsoft, not Microsoft. It's Adventure World at Microsoft. Northwind is an open source sales data set. Of course, you find it on the internet where you can use to explore for your analysis. So in this Northwind cells, we have over 31 columns for these Northwind cells. Before you perform anything here, you look through the data, you explore first. In data science or data machine, they call it EDA, exploratory data analysis. So all those exploratory data that you need here, Power BI has already given, Power Query has already given you. So you look through them. This is the first data that you are valid 100%. So this data here is clean. No error for it. So it's clean. So you don't need to go anything. You just need to explore what you need. So we have order ID, we have customer ID, we have employee ID, order date, required date, ship date. This column, no error, no empty. So the data type is correct. Ship via, okay, white. What again? Product ID, unit price, quantity, discount, company name, contact title, employee last name, employee first name, product name, supplier ID, category ID, quantity per unit, unit price, unit in stock, units on order, the order level, discontinued, category name, supplier. Yeah. So for this data now, we explore. How can we now explore now? Don't forget, this is how you now prepare your data. For this, your data now, it cannot be completed like this. Actually, it is clean, but it is not a data that is prepared for analysis that you need. So if you are given this kind of data now, if I be able to bring this choose column now, we have customer information. You can see we have customer ID here, which is, let me see, there are three things in this sales data now. If I look at it, we have orders. These orders contain the order date, the ship date, the freight. All these columns there contain where the are the orders. We have customers, which is telling us that the company name, the contact name, and the contact title. These are the customer information. Employees, we have employee information too. We have product information to stock, quantity per unit, the order discontinued. What again do we have? We have suppliers. So in this data that we have here now, we have over like 5 different tables that we can prepare with this data. And what are these tables? Let me whiteboard. Let's see what it is. So for this data that we have 5 different, I think, yeah, we have 5 different things. 5 different tables that we can extract from that data. The first one is this. Don't forget what fact table and dimensional table can tell us about them. So in our data modeling, we have facts and what? Fact and dimension. So for fact and dimension, what do fact tell us? Anybody can remind me? And we have dimension. What the fact tell us? What the dimension tell us? Nobody. Facts and dimension. Okay.
There are people in the chat. Somebody is replying in the chat.
Okay, I've seen the chart now. Fact, quantity, measure of the table, dimension, descriptive. Thank you. Too good. Or not too good. Though. That's why they call you good too. How they say it? Yeah, the answer is correct. Fact contains the numerical information. Dimension contains what? The descriptive information. Thank you. So before I proceed, someone asked a question here. What's the difference between Power Query and Power BI itself? So as we explained in the first class, Power Query is a data transformation engine. It's where you prepare and clean your data. While Power BI itself is where you do your analysis. You do your visual, you manage the visual. But you want to get data into Power BI, the first and second stage of Power BI is inside Power Query. That's where you clean and you get data that you use in your Power BI for analysis. So I believe I answered your question, Ayomi Joe. So let's continue from there. You guys too good, you too sabi. So facts and dimension. First give us numerical information. Don't mind my writing. This one give us descriptive information. So in this our data now, so what I can see from here, this data that we have, for us to be able to make this analysis, we need description. And the description that I can see from here, I see orders. All these orders now, the order dates, the required dates, the ship dates, the ship via, all these things will be in our fact table because they are the one that we aggregate. All this unit price, quantity, discount will be in our facts because they are the aggregation, the numerical information that we need for analysis. So all this company name, contact name, employee name will be in a dimension table because they are the descriptive information that we have. So everything you are seeing here, except this idea, let me start from here. So everything you are seeing that contain descriptive information here, company name, contact name, all these one by one like this, will be in a dimension table. Are we following? All this numerical information, okay, this one are ID, will be in the fact table. All this descriptive information will be in what? Will be in what? In dimension table. Thank you. So you see all this one now that our text will be in dimension. Will be in dimension. So how we now create this dimension? We now look for different, because there are different descriptive information here. Now need to categorize them. Okay, which one is this for this one? That's why we have this. I open this choose column. This contact name belongs to customer. Employee name here belongs to employee dimension because it's giving us the information about the employee. The product name, the discontinued category name is giving us the information about what? About the orders, which is the products order. The third one we are having is supplier. Supplier is giving us the information of what? The information of the supplier, which are, because this contain, for this company now, they have supplier that supply to them, that supply their goods, or that the customer purchase from them. So for us to now do this, how to prepare this kind of data is this. You duplicate this data that you have here, you duplicate it to the respective table that you want to have. That's the first step. You duplicate it, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's 3. Customer, employee, product, okay, 4, and supplier. And I will rename all this one. This first one will be fact table. Fact table. This one will be dimension customer. You can name it as customer, anyone you like. Why? In very easy way to name when you are collaborating with other team. It's very easy, as in it's what's it called? This naming convention is very best approach, which is dim customer. So you can put dim at the front, which is dimension. So if you are working with that, they will actually recognize that dimension because they have multiple fact table most times. So dimension after customer, you have again employee. And after that, what again would we have? Dimension. What again do you have? Products. Products. And we have dimension supplier. So what I will do to this fact table, don't forget, it contains what? The numerical information. What I will just do is to come to choose column, or I can come to remove column, anyone you want. Now I'll say, you know what? Select all these ID for me. All these ID here, order date, required date, ship date, via flights. Product ID too. So you see all these ID that is selected are what we use to connect them together to other respective table. Because this customer ID will be with customer table, this employee ID will be with employee dimension table, this product ID will be in product dimension table. But for what to link them together, there should be a connection. What we connect those tables together, those are these IDs. So just like as we have in our merge, we cannot merge two tables together without a what? Without an identifier, which is a column that will recognize each other with the same data type and the same records. So that's it here. Let's see what again we can bring into other fact table. Don't forget fact table, we still bring in unit price, quantity, discounts. Yeah, you might ask for the reason why we bring in unit price. It should be with the products. Yes, it should be. But it should not be, because fact table should contain what? Only the numerical information that we want to aggregate for our analysis. And all these unit price, quantity, discounts is what we need to do. So you'll be in our fact table. So what again do we have again? Okay, units in stock. This will be in products. Units in stock. Yeah, it should be in products. Yeah. So that's all for fact table. And I'll click on OK. It will remove all other ones. So this is our fact table now. If you look here now, you will not find any numerical, any descriptive information. You see, everything in this fact table contains what? Contains numerical information. Except all these ID. These ID we are covering there because they are the one that we use for connectors. So you might say, this is text now, but other one are something. So that's a fact table. So for this customer table, you come here, you pick only information for the customer, which is customer ID, company name, contact title. That is for customer. What again do we have customer? That's all. I'll click on OK. So this place only contain customer, what's it called? Customer information. You see, it contains only what? Only customer information. So the next thing we do is to come to our dimension. Here for employee, we choose only information that for employee. Employee ID, employee title. What again do we have for employee? I think that's all. And this for employee. Come to products, we do the same. We do the same. Product ID, product name. Okay, category ID. Should you have category ID, or we should create a new table for category ID? Don't worry, take it to quantity price. Okay, unit price is already there. I will delete this one later. Units in stock, units on order, we order discontinued category name. So let's bring it in. So this for this is for, let's see what we have in this discontinued. So that's for products. And we come to supplier. We do the same for supplier. Look for supplier information. Do you have supplier ID? Supplier name, supplier ID. Now click on OK. So for this now, this is all the table that we need. Let me see for this category here. This category should be in another table, so I think this category should be in another table. So let me create a new table for category. remove category. No, leave category ID here, but remove category. So, you know what you will do? Duplicate this table and say dim category. The reason we are having categories is because for each of those products, there are different categories that are. Let's say you are purchasing from Amazon now, and you want to let's say Amazon, and want to purchase air condition. Why am I need to sign in for Amazon? I wish can wala be this. Oh. Yeah, you can see now, these are categories. They are, what's it called? Don't change. So you have different categories here, you see, electronics, computers. So there are different categories for each of those products. You see. So if it is okay, accessories and supply, we have different type of product there, but they belong to the same same category. So there might be different category for each of those products. So if you leave it in product table, it will affect when you are preparing your data for data model. So you need to have different things. So first one, like this one for me. Only wants category ID, only wants category ID and category name. Yeah. So this is it. So the reason why you need to prepare your data for data modeling is this. Let's say you're working in a big organization that you have daily data. Okay. Let's pick Amazon, for example, as our case study here. Every day there is new products that is being uploaded to Amazon here. Like, okay, new products comes in here every day for this, then what's it called? For this category. There will always be new products every day coming into this website. And every fucking day, the users will be purchasing on this website. And as users purchasing on this website, the more they purchase, the more the data is storing in their database or anywhere they are picking their data. Let's say we connect to Amazon now. So as the people are purchasing, it should be updating. So as your data is updating, what data models will do for you is to look into those respective things you are expected to, like, okay, this customer has he existed before in this data in our database? So did he make purchase of order today? Like, okay, you buy order today now. So if you want to go tomorrow again, do you need to create another new account to make another order? Or if you want to make another order next tomorrow, do you need to create another account? So because you already have one account, so you can use that one account to be purchasing every other time you want to purchase. That's what data modeling does. So data modeling reduces the redundancy when you are preparing this. Okay, this person have purchased before. When new data comes in, like when new purchase is made and the data is sent to the data source where you connect your Power Query to, you will look for that customer from this your data model now. Okay, VNet is already existing in customer. You will not add it to your customer dimension. You will go and add the orders, every other orders that connect to that VNet to your fact table. So it means one person here can make multiple orders in a day. But you should not take it into your dimension, because what dimension will do for you now is to reduce that redundancy and duplicate of those person. Same thing comes to this employee. Same thing comes to all your dimension. That's why you need to build all these things before you now take it for your analysis. So the more the data the more the data coming in into your dimension, like the more the data coming in from that source, the more the granularity and the accuracy of data model will compress it. It will split it into those classes for it. Let me know if you get that in the charts. Do you get that? I'm too fast. Screen is lagging. Again. Hello, are we here?
Yes, we are
Yes,
here. You're
Buba,
not
we
too
can hear
fast.
you. It lagged for some time, but we are back now.
Okay. So okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you.
we
You
can
have
hear.
to go back to the last part.
Thank you. So I asked the question like, do we get what data modeling? How you prepare your data for data modeling now? Okay, granularity. Let me go back from the last part then. So I say picking Amazon as our case study here. Let's say we connect to Amazon database, and because there will always be orders every day or every minute. So as the order comes in, what dimension we look at? Okay, if it is yes, it will not add to that dimension, because what data modeling is like, it will reduce the redundancy for you and make your data accurate, which is the what's it called? Yeah, the data accuracy. So if this employer has already existed before, it will not look for, it will not add to that employer. Instead, it will look for that employer and okay, what did this customer purchase? What is employer be employee? Which customer did he bring in for us? Which orders did he, how many sales did he make from one customer for us? We'll add those data into your fact table, which is what you have in your fact table here. So in nutshell of what data modeling is this, so it means for this one customer, here now can make many purchases at a day. But in your data model, like in your dimension, it will not be okay. This customer VNet made this order now, VNet again, which will be redundancy. So what dimension will now do? Okay, this person has already existed once, has already signed up. So anytime you want to make a new order, you don't need to create another account to sign up. Same applies to products. So let's say, okay, this product has already existed in your, okay, let's pick this now. So this product has already existed already here now. So it means one person can purchase many of these products. This product can be purchased like from different person multiple times. So, and when a new product of this kind want to be uploaded, your dimension table will tell you that, okay, this product has already existed before. So that's why all this now, you now have your discontinued stock. Okay, how many products are available there on the website? 86. How many are ordered? Nothing. So the other level that which is restock, nothing restock. Discontinue means has it been sold, like has it been shipped? Like, okay, discontinue means is there, okay, after it's available now, that person that buy it, how many have moved out? How many is available in the stock? That's what discontinue means. Okay, has it been moved out? As a person gets delivery? Yes, it's not getting delivery. So those are what dimension we're looking for you, and that's all we do. So every other data that is coming in as a continuous data from your sources, we be distributing to the fact table. So if there is a new data that is not existed in your dimension, it will add it to your dimension. So for this now, after you've split all this one, you make sure your data type is correct, which is correct. The next thing you do is to come to you need to remove the duplicate, which is what you want to achieve. You say remove duplicate. Do you see what it did now? Now it analyze something goes. And when I remove the duplicates, I have 5 rows. It means this information, you can see now everything is unique now. The EDA now. I think we are doing the showing time, but it is unique, but when I say okay, remove the 85 words, 85 distinct and 85. Can we get that now? So that's what we need to do. And we come here because we want to remove those redundancy and to ensure data granularity when you are building our model. So for this employee too, I will come here. You can use the employee ID and you say, you know what? Remove duplicates. And these are the employee that we have. These are the unique employee that we have. You come to product, so you do the same. Product ID, remove duplicates. Can see 77. These are the unique information that we have. You come to supplier too, the same. Remove it. Yeah. You come to category too. And this is all we need for our, what's it called? For our data modeling. So once we already do all of this, what we do next is now to close and apply. You now close and apply. So once you close and apply, it will load to Power BI for us. It will load to Power BI. You see, this is what you download. So you see what it's telling us, creating connection in model, creating connection in model. So once your Power BI automatically does this, if you realize that there are columns that are related from your Power Query, it will automatically create those connections. If those columns contain the same records and same data type, it will automatically create it. So because you already built something now, if you come here now, it will find it's still loading. Yeah, it has finished loading now. You come to our model view, and that's where you find all those connections. Yeah. Now hide this and make this little bit easy. So let me readjust this a little. This is our, you see, there are some connections that are already created automatically already because they find themselves, the column data type is good. We can now design our data model now. So you see, we have employee, we have customer, we have products, we have supplier. Supplier is not there. Supplier is not joining. So those supplier ID in our fact table, that's why it's not connecting. There is no information that will bring them together. So you see, for this one now, you know, when we explain about our fact table and dimension table, we explain what this is what we call star schema. It means the fact table will be at the middle, not even at the middle. I can rearrange it how I want it. So the fact table can be like this, but it will form in form of star. I can say, okay, bring this on here. So this kind of relationship is so-called snowflakes sometimes. You can actually make this into, like, I'm designing it any I want to design it, but I want it as a star schema. So I want it as a star schema. Yeah. So like this time, look in form of a star. So it's so easy for you to keep track of your model here. So this is the relationship that you have that connects them together. So what are these relationships? You see this one here and you see this star. It means one to many. So if I want to open this now, I will say, you know what? Manage relationship for me. And open all the connection that we have here. And I'll say edit. Okay, let me double click. Double click on this. It will open the relationship pane. So you see now, it's saying, look at this for me. From this employee ID, you can find the employee ID in the dimension table. That's why you can be able to connect them together. You know, if you look at this now, you look at the merge table, how we made table before, this window. But the difference here is that this bottom here. So what this cardinality is telling us that, okay, for this fact table at the top here, if I change this one to dim employee now, and I pick fact table here, it will be one to many. Can you see it now? And if I leave it the way it is before, fact table and dimension, to be many to one. So one to many and many to one are the same thing. One to many and many to one are the same thing. What it's telling us is that for employee ID, for this dimension employee, you can find this record here, one person here, this one employee here. You can find many of that employee in this our fact table. If this employee make more sales to customer in multiple times, that's what one to many is, or many to one is. And the filter direction is one is single, which is this circle here. It means anytime we want to do our analysis, we can filter through, we can slice through from we can slice through from we can slice through from what's it called? From our employee to go and look for all the records that we have in our fact table. That's for what's it called? That's for many to one. So one to one, it will not work. One to one means it means it should be the same record that is there. It should be the same record that is there. That's what one to one is telling us. So it should not be one to many. Like any record that is found there, if one is there, it should only be one. It should not be many. That's what one to one relationship is telling us. And we have okay, many to many. Many to many, yeah, are what we call data redundancy when you're having it. So it means you can look for many records from this place and connect it to many records from this place. So when you are doing many to many, you will not have accurate results in your analysis. So let's say one person make 5 orders down. So it can be showing you that, okay, well, this person can make 15 orders. And I'm like, why is this result is different from the result that we have in the actual cells? So, but the best connection that you actually come across every time is this three is either one to many or many to one or one to one. That's the thing you actually come across for every analysis that you want to do, every model you want to build in Power BI. So it is very rare, very, very, very rare to come across many to many. Very, very rare. So we put it into many to one. Yeah, okay, on okay, which is the actual one. So what we'll now do for this? So we have this dimension category. You see, it automatically connects to products. But I wouldn't advise you have this kind of data model now is snowflakes because you already have a dimension that is connecting to another dimension. So I need to take this back into products so we can have a star schema. And we create a connection for supplier and fact table too. So we need to go back to our data preparation. So we go to our data preparation and I will now say, you know what, for this category, I don't want you again. I don't want you again, delete. And I'll say my products, bring in category for me. Bring in category name and remove category ID. So, and I'll have my category name here. Yeah. So you can see some products here belong to different two categories, but they are unique products. So that's what you just do. And I will come to supplier. So I'll go to fact table. I will need to create a connection here. I will say from this other column here, edit, and go and look for supplier ID. So this supplier ID is what we call create connection between supplier and dimension supplier here from fact table and dimension. So as I close and apply now, we'll see a new relationship that will automatically created between supplier and fact table. Can we see that now? So and this is what we call a data modeling. And this is our star schema now. So everything is looking great from here. We have our products. Let me bring this down. Bring this off. I think it's not much. So this is a star. You see, it looks in form of a star. So anytime a new record comes into our data from Power Query now, to just update if it's a new product, if you update it into the product dimension here, product table, like product dimension here, and we'll put the order, we will take the orders or the price into what's it called? Into the fact table. So if a new customer make a new order on the website, we will take the name of that new customer into customer table and take the sales or the order that I make and it, we'll take them into fact table. So that's what dimension creates for us. So, and don't forget something about dimension and fact is it cannot have, as a fact table is less useless, like is the usage is limited if there is no dimension, if there is no context to provide, because you just have all those number, the total number, the total quantity that will do. You cannot slice through a context that will give you the context of those analysis. So that's what dimension give us. So let's see what you have in our charts. Okay, everybody here saying they are not everybody, sure. So the recording will be available. Let our question comes in. Faith, are you there? But them, you guys are not. So
Yes, I'm there.
okay, please, you didn't accept all those ones. So you can give those ones that want to request mic, you can give them, unmute them. So Ikechi, you can go with your question.
Anyway, I've been in the class since. Good evening. I've been in the class since. But I got a little bit lost at the point where you were trying to split the not win into different tables. So probably since you said we'll be getting the record anytime soon, I'll just watch it from there because I got lost at that point. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. So Sulia. Sulia.
Hi, Mubarak. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So I will first of all talk about the lagging. So even when we watched the video, I discovered that the lagging part is still kind of like showing that it's lagging. I don't know. So that's it. And my question is, if for example I have different tables coming in, probably from an SQL database, and I bring in probably 4 or 5 tables. Will it automatically, let's say maybe two fact tables, and let's say 4 or 3, depending. Let's say for example I want to work for a department and I'm working with 2 fact tables and let's say 3 dimension table to probably view the report for, let's say, the sales team. So will it automatically connect each other, or I'll have to be the one to specify the um the connection? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand you.
All right, thank you.
So if you're having data from different sources, like different database, SharePoint, stuff like that. So you see how we created from Power Query, right? Hello?
Can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So how we created from Power Query there. So irrespective of where the data is coming from, okay, irrespective of where the data is coming from, once you specify those connection, like you specify those columns that you want to use in your fact table. For example, let me show an analysis that I did. So for this analysis that I did, I have my sources from, I think like four different sources. So once you already build those connection, like build this connection, you create it in the data model. And the data is updating. And data is updating from any sources it's coming from. Your data model will take handle of that.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to ask. Please, I don't know if the moderators can be checking, or if there's like something we can do whenever the class is lagging, so it can quickly be attended to. Because when you were explaining the um what's this when you were explaining this modeling part, it was really lagging, and it can be frustrating when you are trying to concentrate and you just couldn't grasp what was happening or something. So, and I was trying to even use the emoji of surprise to call your attention. I raised up my hand, but nobody was attending to it. So I would appreciate if there's a way we can call your attention to whenever we have technical issues or something, so it can be attended to. Thank you so much, Mubara.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
that has been
you.
taken note of.
Okay. So to what's it called? To talk more about what's it called, Leah is saying. So you see, I have different. Okay, these 7 data I don't go into my data model. For each of these data here are from different sources. So for this channel, let me see where it's coming from. I think from this one is coming from. Let me see the source. So it's coming from SQL database. You can see the source here. So for these 3 here, it's coming from SQL database. Where is this one coming from? Okay, this one to SQL. Let me see where this one is coming from. So this one is coming from SharePoint. Are you following me?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
we are.
following you. I'm following you.
No, I'm talking to Solia.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Totally
So
with you.
I have different data from different sources. This is from SharePoint. This is from SQL. And I have another data from Excel. I have data from MCode too. So as everything load fast. So because they are from different sources, some are lagging, some are from SharePoint, some are be online. So
Okay.
those data updates. This thing was slow before I go back to close and apply. So I won't have any error. Okay.
Okay, as Muba, have you answered a question?
Which one?
A question of lagging, doing the data modeling.
Yeah, it's not
Passion.
me. I don't know how to. I don't know if it is Teams or it is the network. So
Okay, we
I
move on
can't
to
say
the
because
next question.
okay, I'll give the next person mic. So And if you can see here, I have some other things that I didn't even bring into Power Query. If I load this, so and when I go to my data model, you'll be able to find all the relationship in those model. You can see it now. So it's explaining where your data is coming from. Once you create your fact table, like and dimension, you just create those connections. Most time it will not automatically created. You need to do it yourself. And that's how I show you how you can do it. You just click on those tables, you bring in, okay, let's say I want to delete this now. Let me show you how you can create this. What I just do now will affect my reports. I forgot. So if you want to create a relationship between them, like it's not automatically created, you look for those columns that are the same and you drag it to each other like this. So once you drag it, it will automatically connect. You will look at them. Are they the same data type? They contain the same record. If it is yes, it will connect. If it is no, it will give you error. So, and that's how you do for others too. So, don't save. Yeah, that's it for it. The next question. Oyedeji.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Mba. Like, I asked you one question the last class. Like, for example, is it audio data set we have to make a modeling for? Because there's some data like there's some data I download from maybe Yahoo. All these the Bitcoin stuff. So I don't really make tables. So does it matter? That is my question.
Every analysis that you want to do, you need to build a data model for them as far as Power BI is concerned. Even though you are using Excel, that's why you have Power Pivot. For you to make any insightful analysis, you need to build a data model as far as Power BI is concerned. Because that's the third step. After you clean, after you prepare, you cannot move on to visual without what's it called? You cannot move on to visual without data model. So you need to revert back to the roadmap in your Power BI journey. The first step, all of them one step before another. So if one step is lagging, so it means your next step is rubbish. So we've covered what's it called? We've covered how to get data, how to clean the data. So model. So if the data is not cleaning well, your model will have visual. So and if your data is good, your visual, your report will be very good. So you cannot jump any process. So that's it.
Oh, sorry, Mr.
You can. Both them, please accept those are the guests. Olisheyi.
I'm here.
Olisheyi. Accept those are
Okay,
the
hi,
guests. So
Muba.
people are waiting in the lobby.
Okay, Muba, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So thank you so very much for this, for all the classes. Yeah. Thank you for everything. Really grateful. Okay, so my question is one, I don't know, it's a follow-up on what Oyedeji asked, which I think I'd also asked that question, so that sometimes you have data that doesn't have like you don't have numerical data. And then you said compulsorily you must build a data model. So would it be possible for you to show us a demo, maybe of a data set that has non-numerical data and how you go about building the data model and all that? Then secondly, yeah,
continue.
yeah. Then secondly, I dropped the question in the chat that when you were selecting the columns for your facts and dimensions table, I don't know, I missed that part. I don't know if it's something you can quickly just go over for me. You know, you kind of deselected some columns and then you selected some columns. I don't really know how you went about doing it. That's my question.
Okay. Okay, for data that there is no numerical information. Those I don't. Can you give me an example of that kind of data before I say my own example at my end?
Okay, like there was a time I was trying to do all these challenge, all these FP20 Onyx data, and there was a data that I picked. I think it was Forbes 40 billionaires or something. I didn't really see any numerical data like that. It was more of text, like mostly textual data. So I was just trying to figure out how I was going to go about creating the facts and dimensions. Maybe just from that single data set, I just start creating visuals. So
yeah. So there are data that won't require you much to create data model. Like some of those data are survey data. That's
I
number
think it
one
was
that
something
actually
like
comes
that.
to my
Yeah.
mind and I work with. So survey data doesn't require, as in some of those other data won't require those information, numerical information. So those one will be one table data. And those one table data, how you can be able to get your insights for analysis will be with DAX. Will be with
Okay.
DAX.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have a survey analysis there. I think I have for Excel. And I do something related to that this morning, but it's not on my PC here. Let me see what I have here. Let me see what I have here. I don't think if I'll build a model for this. This might take long to load though, but I think the data is. So I think you asked about which table is needed to pick for. I think I didn't get that as well.
No, so okay, for when you were creating your facts and dimensions tables, the columns, like the way I saw that you deselected some things, you selected some things. I don't know how you got to that part. That's just so I don't know if it was a filter function you used or something.
No, you don't filter. It is choose column. Choose column, yeah, remove column. So I just choose the column that I want. So for this data now, this is a survey data, like a challenge that I just go to as in I came across it maybe last week. And I discovered I couldn't be able to meet the deadline. So I just turn away. So for this data now, everything here are numerical information.
Like dimensions, okay.
Everything, even with it's still refreshing. So I know it will take time. It's kind of large data. So everything here mostly are numerical. I say numerical are text information, which is descriptive information. Even the dimension here. Even the dimension. So, but what I needed, because it's a survey data, I pray it load fast too. Maybe it doesn't load. Okay. So you see all these on our ID. And everything here. Okay, this one contain. This might actually fact table, text and everything here. So let me see the location. For this location dimension. So when you have the data, you will know where the model will coming from. So when you have the data right from where you see. So I was given only this data. So I'm the one bringing this dimension because what I needed. Okay, for this dimension, I need this thing to slice through this fact table for me to have my accurate analysis, what I want to achieve. So those kind of data that, okay, you see now, all these things contain text. Even that's how it is in the fact table. That's how it is in the fact table. But I find something similar to them, and I want to create a dimension from it. So instead of having this very dissatisfied, there are something there. I don't know where I created this. I think I created one dimension somewhere around here. I don't know if this is on. So let's wait. Yes. PJ, what if you need one table? Do you have to build a model? If you need only one table, yes. I cannot answer this one yet because it depends on the data that you have, like will determine where your who pasted this table. Okay, you mean this kind of data for okay, this kind of data. This data is incomplete for your analysis, but you can make a visual for this, which will only trend, which will only be trend data because there is no context for this data, no context at all. The only context you have is this your dates. So it can only be a trend data against all this volume that you have here. So let me see what I have here. I think okay. Why can't I find? I'm trying to show how I'm creating my dimension stuff. So it's always depend when you have a one table data, it's depending on the objective that you want to achieve. Even most everything. So the objective will determine how you structure your data model. If it is a continuous stuff, you put it, and if it is a one-time stuff, you use your one table like that. But if it is continuous, you need a data model like a continuous thing for future use. Even okay, in general, if you are building a report that will be continuous for future use and future what's it called? Future updates, you need to build a what's it called? You need to build a data model. But it's one time thing like you are just using no update, no features of that. You don't need it. You're gonna update that out. Money. Fast forward updating. So which of this? What's up? Wow. So this data is huge and there is then you continue from don't save. Yes. Don't save. Don't save. You're taking the time. So EDG, you can move on. I think this is all we have for our data modeling. So I want us to go into another thing. But our question can come in. You can treat more scenario here. EDG, you can speak. You can treat more scenario. You can bring in more data to Messi, you want to speak?
Yes, I have a question. Good evening, sir.
Evening.
So concerning this data modeling, okay, I'll say data modeling in Power BI is kind of different from what I know as for data modeling. Okay, I was thinking is something more of maybe for predictive analysis to make predictions. But
Were you in the
okay, for
last
this,
class?
yes, I was.
If you are, you won't actually say this. That's normal. If you were in the last class and if you
Yeah.
watch the recording, so you know that okay, modeling in Power BI is different because I think we cover that and differentiate that in our last class.
Okay,
So you
okay,
can
okay,
continue now. So before you
okay.
talk into
So
predicting or something, so you can continue. So
okay, okay, I understand now. Okay, I want to ask the question now. For this particular data modeling Power BI, this was the use, was the importance. I did not really get to understand
did you just join the
the
class?
No, I've been in the class, but I don't really get it. Like the connections that you did from the Power BI
Okay,
canvas.
the importance of data modeling is when you having a when you have a data from different sources you are bringing from, it's
Okay.
check the data redundancy. For
Oh,
our case study that we use Amazon for case study here. So you as Messi now, you can have accounts in what's it called? In Amazon, and you can buy multiple products from Amazon. So in data modeling, here, we have what we call customer table here. So once you have registered, your details will be in the customer dimension. So it means when you are buying products, all those products that you are buying in a day now, you can buy different products, like multiple products. You can order for 10 products in a day. So anytime that data want to update in the database that you connect your Power BI to, it will look for this customer. If it's already existed, it will not add your name again. It will not be adding your name to that your dimension. It will say, okay, this customer has already existed. So there is an update in products and purchase it is making. It will now distribute those orders into those different tables. So it means it will let the accuracy of those data to be accurate. There will not be redundancy and all the stuff like that. Same thing for products. You can buy multiple products. Even though you can buy one product, which are the same, you can buy 10 quantity of one product. So it will not say, okay, because you buy iPhone 6, iPhone 6, iPhone 6, iPhone 6, 1. No. It will calculate all those iPhone 6 that you buy together. Okay, you can buy 5 quantity of iPhone 6 and we'll add it to your product there. So, and as the new data coming in, if a new person register and make another purchase, like register as a customer and make order, it will add that new customer into the dimension table. So because of the future that they want to do, you'll be able to navigate through it. Is that clear?
yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So yeah, you can go on. So yeah, you can go on. Okay, Celia is not there yet. So while we have our data modeling, we've talked about relationship, we've talked about star schema. So the next thing we have in our agenda is data, is all called DAX.
So good.
And how do we now call DAX? What is DAX?
Hello.
What is okay? You are here. I'm here.
Okay, I've muted, but I think you were not hearing me. I don't know if it was me. So, but you're already moving on to that. I wanted when you said and we are done with data modeling. So I wanted to say, oh, if you don't mind, because I saw your tweet on cleaning a data set and doing the data model. I think DSM challenge. So I wanted to say, if there is still enough time, probably you can just walk us through how you did it, like how complex is the data that you had to tweet about it. Probably you could just like show us, but since you're already moving to DAX, I don't know, but I would just appreciate if you could just show us what you did, and if you our boss could say, oh, this is complex, we like to like tap from your river of knowledge. So that's just my suggestion. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like request, but it's out of scope of our class here because
Exactly.
it's out of scope of our class. Maybe when I finish the analysis one day, but not even this month at all. So because I
All
just save
right,
it for
it's fine.
so maybe next month when I'm done with it, I can host a session and I can walk through it for people that want to go through it. Because I rarely see people that
Oh,
submit those what's it called? The challenge I really see people that submit challenge for the Power BI track. So,
I'll
but
remind you.
for this now, yeah, you should remind me. I gave assignment to us about data cleaning. And I can see a lot of people have not even get back. Maybe because they don't want to submit new, or you guys are not even seeing the cleaning to do. Is it hard?
We are going to do it.
It's easy, Abby.
Maybe after watching the video.
Okay. So everybody is not talking about the data cleaning since I've dropped it. How do you submit? Okay. Let me see how you can submit. I will send the form. I will send the form out. The 3 and 5 is hard. It's not hard now. Very simple thing. It's very simple thing. Nothing is hard in that data cleaning. We thought you have what you've done. Who is muting me on the chat? Let me mute all of you. I don't know who is muting me, but I will mute all of you later, sure. So you guys say it is hard. We have weekend. Before you know now, weekend has already here. We'll close on Sunday. So I will send you where you submit it on Sunday. So maybe Sunday. Sunday. Okay. We have another day to I will do the solution and the approach. Actually, not for everyone. I might book it might be on that Sunday too. So I'll just take the answer to work to. First, you are still a first. God. Okay. Okay. People are saying the data cleaning is hard though. But how about that one that I want to give out? Even for merging and appending. So for the dimension that we just do today. How about that other one? How about that other one that I want to do? Like that I want to bring out too. So that one is just the tip of an iceberg. So I love data cleaning too much. And I have plenty dirty data. So I'm bringing it out so you can learn more. So today, let's move into DAX. Let's move into DAX. So we continue how to write DAX next week, but we need to understand what DAX is. Who can tell me what DAX is? Who can tell me what DAX is? I think I have a code for DAX recently. If you can unmute your mic and know what DAX is, you can put it on the chart, put it there. DAX. Nobody. Data analysis expression. You guys don't have to sabi. I know it's data analysis expression. Now tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. You already know it's data analysis expression. So let me know more about that. It goes to Minnesota. DAX. I want to give you guys a quote about DAX. Yeah. Used to create calculated column and measures. Achieve those goals. Might be the one S too far. Calculation. Yeah. So this is a quote from one of the guy of DAX that you can do. It's your skills in writing DAX that will set you apart from other users of Power BI. So the more you are able to write DAX, that's when you know that okay, you are a good Power BI person. Because every business jargons, business English, how you can convert those English into calculation of numbers is what DAX provides you with. Is what DAX provides you with. So now let's go into our slide. We have the next agenda is DAX. What is DAX? Let me bring my slide for DAX. What do you know as DAX? So DAX is data analysis expression, which is a formula expression language used in analysis service, Power BI and Power Pivot in Excel. DAX formulas include function, operators, and values to perform advanced calculation and queries on data in related tables. In what? This icon in related tables and columns in tabular data models. You already know what the tabular data model is. So that in different way, we know what DAX is. Let me in nutshell of DAX. I believe everybody here know what Excel is. We know what Excel is, right? In Excel, we have formula, we have what's it called? We have formula in Excel. Who can tell me some formula that you know in Excel? Tell me the formula you know in Excel. VLOOKUP, thank you. Everybody know VLOOKUP, count, max, mean, yes. So all this formula that you call function here, all this formula in Excel are in VBA, yeah, function here. All these formula are what we call DAX in Power BI because you need all these things to get some calculation and advanced things that you need for your analysis. So in Power BI, we call them DAX. So you have index, you have match, you have sum, you have counter. So yeah, XOR is a function, XOR in Excel. So everything in analysis service, it is not called DAX, it is called NDX. But they are the same function, like they are the same, they are similar because they are writing the same thing to achieve same thing. Analysis service is like what they call SQL Server analysis service. So it is called MDX. Yeah, MDX there. In Power BI, it is called DAX. In Power Pivot, it is called DAX too, which is what you have in Excel when you are doing your Power Pivot in your Excel. So that formula I use in measures, calculated columns, calculated table, and row level securities. So for measures, we'll be explaining what measures is, calculated column, explaining what calculated column is. So measures are dynamic calculation formula where the result change depending on context. Measures are used in reporting and all the story. And that's for DAX. Some of the DAX function that you have is this. Simple aggregator. These are normal one that you use. The aggregator function, sum, iterator function, logical function, date. So for us to now understand that, we'll come here. So these where DAX come from. You see these measures here. We have what we call measures, we have what we call column, and we have what we call tables. So these three tables are what we use for calculation. You see, it is under calculation in your model. So measures means anytime you create a measure, let me come here in our data now. You see, we have 4 things in this calculation. We have measures, we have quick measures, we have new column. Quick measures is something that you just put your English. Just write English that you want and you write the measure for you. So measures means a virtual calculation. Anytime you create a measure, you will not find it in your report or you find it in your data. But you will find it here in this your data pane. It will create in your what's it called? It will store in your data model, but you will not be able to find it in your data. But you store in your data model. But you can only use it with a visual. That's when what's it called? That's when measures come. The next one we have is the column. A column is when you want to add a new column to your existing data. When you want to add a column to your existing data. So for this one now, let's say I want to add a new column to it. I can now say, you know what? Okay, don't let me create a column yet. Let me just explain the theory of it. So a new column means you want to add a column. Anytime you create a new column, it will add to this your data here. So I think you have put out here discontinued. Yeah. Let me create a new column for this discontinued. Let me show what you're saying. A new column. With the new column name. So you see, just like you have in your Excel, this is the formula bar for your DAX. So you just write it, let me say discontinue or discontinue new equal to if discontinue, if dim product, if dim product of discontinue is equal to 0, it should give me what? It should give me false. Else, it should give me what? It should give me 2. So, sorry, I need to put it into parentheses. If I didn't put it into parentheses, it will notify them as a, what do you call them? Logical tests. It should give me false, it should give me 2, yes. Error. You know why it's being error? Because I have a typo at the end. So you see what's what's it called? A new column does. The new column created a new what's it called? It created a new column to that existing data that I have. So what the measure does is this. Let's say, okay, I want to count every product that we have here. I can come here to this product and I'll say, create a new measure for me. And from this new measure, and I'll say number of products, and I'll say count tools of dim products. Count tools of dim products. So what the measure is this, you will create a new measure here. You will see the difference between a calculated column and a measure. The measure will be like a phone icon, while a calculated column will be like this FX here, a table FX. So you see this measure that I created now, you cannot find it in this table here, but you can see it here. And when I come to my reports, I can only see what is inside this measure anytime I go into reports. That's when I will know what is inside it. You see now, when I bring it here now, it show me what is inside those measures. If I click on this measure here now, it will show me the formula, but it will not show me what it contains. So what a measure does is it creates a visual calculation, like abstract. You will not see it until you bring it into what's it called? Into a report, into your report view. That's when you'll be able to see it. A calculated column, we created a new column to your existing data, which will make which you can be able to see. So the difference between this calculated column and a measure is both added to your data model. But when you created a calculated column, when you created your calculated column, it will make your data model size to be getting larger, getting bigger. And once your data model size is getting bigger, it means your data model will be very slow. Your report will be very slow. Okay. That's one. But a measure will not make your data model size get bigger. And it helps your data model to it helps your report to perform faster and load faster. That is for calculated column and measure. So the next one we have here is this quick measure that we have here. This quick measure is like, okay, you don't know the formula to use. I will give you some suggestion. Do you know what? For aggregate, let me see average per category. And it will tell you, okay, for this product, look at number of products and which category here. Look at the category name. And you click on add, it will create a measure for you. It will create a measure for you. It means you don't know how to write much of measure. So when I cancel this now, you can see the measure here now. Number of products average by category. So you create the measure for you automatically. If you don't know, that is just like a suggestion. So that's what quick measure does. And I don't want you again. So the next one you have for table is what we call a new table. A new table is when you want to add a new table to your existing information here that you don't have. When I click on new table, you will see this now. You call this calculated table. So what calculated table does is this. Okay, you want to create a new table. I can see for this table now, bring in employee for me. Team employee. So I just want to copy everything in Zoom employee to this new table. That's what I just referenced. When I click on enter, you will find everything from that gym employee inside this place. Can you see that now? Just like I copy everything here and I come and bring it into the table. So that's for what we call before we go into our DAX, you need to get into familiar with this calculate group here in our model. So this 4 thing is what we need for DAX. Every time you want to create DAX, you need this 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's what you need. So, and one thing you need to note before writing DAX or getting into DAX is in your data model, your relationship in your data model, you see the table that we created. Everything that we create, you will find this in your data model. Where are those formula? Okay, we create those DAX inside our. We create those DAX inside our. You find it here. You can see inside our model. So anytime you want to create you want to write DAX, if your data model relationship are not connected well, your DAX will not work. If your data model relationship are not connected well, your DAX will not work. So we stop here today for introduction to DAX, which is the basic of DAX. We have not started writing DAX yet, but these are the things we need to know before we now start writing DAX, which we'll cover next week. So now let's our question comes in. If you have any question on that, or if you have any other thing you want to say before you move on. Okay. Thank you guys. think nobody have anything to say. We save it for next week. So I'll be expecting you guys. Okay, a quick recap on data modeling. So as been said earlier, data modeling is creating relationship between different tables from your different data source. And why you need to prepare your data for modeling is when you have a continuous report that you want to build. Like, okay, the data will be updating every time. So to avoid those redundancy and have accurate results, you need to split those data into dimension. The table we created, are we going to stop? Sorry for the distraction. So if you want to as in if it want to be continuous data, so as more data comes in, it will be taking them, it will be checking those redundancy and make it accurate without getting redundant. So if you want to much of a cap on that, you watch your recording from the beginning, you understand from there. The table you created, are you going to create a relationship on it to when do you think we should create measure, calculated column and table? Yeah, great question. I was expecting this kind of question. So the table that I created, I'm not creating relationship on it. But if you create a table that you needed for your own analysis, like you need it to you create relationship. If you need it for your analysis, you create that relationship. So because I'm just explaining how to do this. So a scenario where you can use measures and calculated column and table is this. Where to use measure is anytime you want to create aggregation, like you want to do aggregation, you want to do sum, you want to do count, anything that require numbers, it's advisable to create a measure. But anytime you want to do a slicer, like a context, what's it called? A descriptive information that contain text, like you want to be able to see a context of something. That's when calculated column is very advisable to use. Okay, let's say you want to, like what we do now, like what I did for this. What I did for this column. Because I have this discontinuous number. So I want to, if I want to use this now, instead of me saying, if I want to use it in my storytelling, like I want to create a report. If I say, okay, this count is 0 and 1, I need to make a context that people will understand. So that's why I created a new column for first. Okay, if it is 0, it is first. If it is 1, it is 2. So you want to do something that give more context for your analysis. It's advisable to use a calculator column. Sometimes if you want to do some calculation, you need to, if you want to do some calculation that require number, you need to do calculator column too before you now put it into measure. So everything will be doing it as we move on. Again, is that answer your question, Victoria? Yes, yes. If you have, yeah, Tamara, yes. If you have a revenue and cost column, yeah, you can use calculator column to get the profits. Yes. And you can do that with measures too. You can do that with measures too. So instead of you creating large model, that's why measure is. So there are formula you can combine together with this that will just save you. It will lessen those times that you want to. Because at times when you want to do those things, we call it model optimization. So if you are creating large calculated column, it's your model will be slow and your report will be slow. So that's why you have measures. So there are formula you can combine together that will do all those things for you at one place. What is the best for KPI? Measure every time. Best for KPI is measure. Yes, yes. Yeah, a measure with very happy base, Tamara. The question that comes in like many more. Yes, you can present your measure anywhere. Anywhere you can present your measure. Anywhere you can present your measure. Hi, Peter. you said you cannot sign into Power BI, right? You cannot create your work account. Please, you watch the video, check the number you are doing, check your service provider. Most people face it. You just retry. Everybody faces it. Even me too, I faced it. Can we say measure is like a view in SQL? But we can see view in SQL now. Yes. Let's say you that are coming from SQL. Yes. It's like a view. But we can see view now. Maybe we cannot see view in Studio. Actually, it's a temporary stuff like created by our query. Like a temporary table created by our query, but we can see it, right? It didn't answer me. Yeah, it didn't answer me. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Coming from
No, I
there.
just wanted to be sure what
Yeah. Measure is
So
like
because
view in SQL.
for what I understand by view is view won't take up the entire space on a database. It will just like should I say a synthetic table? Yeah, let me just go like that. So can we now say this measure is like a synthetic column? It exists but it doesn't exist. Some I don't like, can we say it's like that?
It exists, but you cannot find it in your data until you use it on a visual.
Okay. I think I'll understand better when it starts next in the next class. So I don't want to rush it.
Okay.
Thank you very
So
much.
you see, I have some measures here now. So when I bring it into my reports, that's when I can be able to view it. But in this my data here, everything I have in this data, I cannot see anything there. So anytime you bring it into your report, you want to use it in your report, that's when it will start. That's when it starts its own, what's it called? That's when it will start its own optimizing. That's when it starts its own action. So assuming you refresh now, for all this one to go and look into their data source, everything before they load, they might take time. But measure, when you create your measure, you use it in reports, it will just refresh that report for you. So it saves time. It's a lot of things that it does. Apart from time, it's lessening how your model runs and stuff like that. Just like a view, as you said in SQL. So let's talk as an SQL person now. Let's talk as an SQL person. I think other people here. So it's like a view. When we created a view, we write our query that we want because we want to lessen how everything runs in SQL. Like when you paste your query and you set it as a view. Once you set that view, you can call that view anytime you want to do. So when you run like the query folding in SQL, right? So in that query folding, now when you run through that view because you already set some queries, some parameters for it. So when you run through that view, you get your answer very faster, unlike running from the original table. So are you still there? Sulia is not here again. I want us to talk about SQL before. I think
No,
it can stop.
I'm actually with you. I'm listening. I don't want to stop the class. Probably someone else have a question. That's why I was listening.
I think you're already done for today because I don't see anybody talking again. So I was like, okay, let's do some stuff about what's it called? About SQL before